Hi everyone, Marilyn here today. I wanted to showcase this new die from Ink to Paper. This is the In Stitches back pocket die that is available for purchase on their website. And it comes with 5 pieces. You've got a large pocket, a small pocket, a flap, a detail design, and a button to work with. And I've already gone ahead and cut the pieces actually to each of the larger and the smaller pocket, just to share with you some of the things you can do to put them together. This is cut from cardstock, Blueberry Sky to be exact, and you can actually sandwich the back and front together to make a separate tag type of gift card pocket, if that's what you'd like to do. And of course you would want to sew around 3 sides and not close up the top if you want to insert a gift card. You could do the same thing with the smaller size pocket. Now, one of the things you can do with, because it is cardstock, is you can stamp it. So we're going to be making a project today using this Blueberry Sky die cuts, as well as the flaps and some of the details. So as you can see, I do have a flap for the larger pocket, and all you would do is you would line up the holes to be able to stitch it across the top. And what I would recommend is you not stitch them together yet. You take the top pocket with the pattern that I've stamped on the top, and this is the Cover Up Grid stamp from Paper Tray Ink. And then I would stitch across this top line here before assembling the 2 sides together. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and I will be back to share with you the completed stitching. So I've gone ahead and sewn around this flap first, and then sewn the flap to the top piece. So you can see what I've done is actually tied a knot here in the corner. So now what I'm going to do is actually assemble the 2 parts together. This is the back piece and this is the front. And as I do this, I'm going to use the same stitch, which is basically your running stitch, to sew the 2 pieces together. And I will be back to share that once I'm finished. So I'm back, and I'm actually approaching this corner piece right here, and what I've decided to do is add a little piece of detail right in here because I haven't sewn yet through those holes. One of the things I wanted to add was a little tab, and all this is a piece of seam binding that I have put a dot of glue right in here, not right at the crease, but a little bit towards the rough edge, and I'm going to insert it between the 2 pieces of cardstock. And I should be able to pick up that tab and sew it right in there once I get to the holes for where the tab is sitting. So I'm going to continue sewing, and I'm actually going to hold this pretty well. The seam binding tab is actually going to sit there for a little bit, probably 2 holes before I actually get to piercing it. And I'm going to sew it in place. So as I work forward, I'm going to actually lift the flap a little bit so you can actually see where the red seam binding is. And then my needle is going to go right through it, sewing it right in place. You can see it from both the back and the front because the holes show the red seam binding. So let me go ahead and continue around. I don't want to pick up the flap, so let me go do that. There we go. So that's just a little bit of added detail that you can add with some seam binding or ribbon if you have it in your stash. And we are right at the corner. And you'll notice that I'm actually on the inside of the pocket right now. So you can't actually see the thread coming from the front to the back. So you notice that when I sewed it in, you can kind of see that red showing through there, but from the front it looks like you have a little tab sewn in there, and it's in there good, so it's not going to slip out. And that's just some added detail if you want to add to the pocket. And I chose to show you the white embroidery floss so that you can see the nice contrast between the cardstock and the floss. I like to do that a lot on my projects, but you can choose whatever color you feel is best. I could have chosen a blue color. And what I'm going to do is, because I started on this side of the pocket, I want to end on that side so that I can just put a decorative stitch on the back side, and it'll look nice and finished. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to do that, and I will be back to show you that finished pocket. So I have finished sewing the pocket all the way around, and so let me just go over this again. The pocket is joined on all three sides. This side here on the left, the bottom, and on the right. At the top, it is still open at the top. All I've done is actually sewn the detail stitching to the flap and on the back side here. So I've actually ended back in the same corner where I started on the inside of the cardstock. So what I need to do is I will tie a knot here, and it's up to you, but what I like to do, because I'm going to use this as a tag, I'm actually going to leave this tail on here until I decide what I'm going to tie it onto, whether it's packaging, like some sort of package gift, or some other item. So I'm going to just leave some length of the floss attached until I have my packaging to attach it to. So now I have this pocket, and again, it is open at the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the button that comes with the die set, and I'm just going to glue that down. So when you cut this button, it will cut each of the individual pieces. So you can actually make the button a little bit smaller for the smaller pocket if you want to use it that way, or you can use it with the big pocket. So it was intended to be able to use it in both places. And I have just taken some purple tape and adhered it all together. And I'm going to just put some double-sided tape and stick the button down. And you could use glue if you'd like. So we've got a button on the flap now, and you have this little pocket detail. So to add in a gift card, rather than just putting the gift card inside the pocket, what I have is two different dies here. This is the Go-To gift card slider die and the Go-To gift card holder pencil die. Now this is a portion of the pencil, and this is just a slider that fits inside. Both of these dies will work inside the big pocket. This die will fit inside of the little pocket. So I have a sample here of one of the cards that I have made. This is got some detailed stitching on it, and this is cut out of pure poppy felt. And this is the smaller slider die. That's this die right here inside of the smaller pocket, and all I've done is taken the small pocket and sewn it to the big pocket with some decorative stitches. So you can see here, this is that insert, and you can put a gift card. And I would put the gift card on the back side so that it doesn't show up on the front, because it will cover some of your sentiment. And this is one of the sentiments that is inside of the Simply Sentiments stamp set from Ink to Paper. And I'm going to use that same stamp set to stamp my sentiment here on this larger slider that I have cut using the pencil. And so I'm just going to take that out. And all I've done is taken this this part of the pencil, and I've scored it and then folded it up so that it fits down inside of the pocket. So I'm just going to take some ink, and the same Just For You sentiment that I've shown you. Got a piece of felt in my ink. And we're going to stamp that. And I'm actually going to stamp this towards the top of the pencil. I call it the pencil, but this is the insert that is going in our pocket. I'm going to stamp it towards the top and center it. That looks good. And so what you're going to notice is when I put the gift card in here, it will sit down far enough into the flap, and you'll have this extra piece to hold it. And this should fit just fine into your larger pocket die. So you know that you can gift a gift card inside a little pocket. And just so you are aware, there's a couple of different things I wanted to share. I've shared this one. It's got some decorative stitching. This is the larger pocket again with the flap and another insert. And there's the button. And here it is again on a card with the detail wave that is attached. And just so you know, just a little tip for the wave, to line this up properly, if you count the number of holes here on the left from the corner hole, go down 9 holes and line this up, and then go down 10 on this side, and it will line up perfectly. Okay, so just a little tip on how to line up the little decorative detail for the pocket itself. So that's my share for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.